Greetings. My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks, Sr., your host, and this is Community Focus. This morning we have two distinguished guests. They're from the Lake County Center for Independent Living, which is located in Mundelein, Illinois. And we have with us Allison Loresh. She's the Employment Readiness Program, and we have Amanda Sweat, Community Reintegration Program Coordinator. But the Lake County Center for Independent Living has many programs, and we're going to have them talk about as many as we can in the time allotted to us. Good morning, young ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Brooks.
You know, Lake County is approximately, as you probably know, is probably 800,000 people. But I don't know how many up at 5 o'clock this morning listening to the program. But we do have quite a large audience here on 102.3 FM. Allison, I'd like to start with you. Tell our listening audience about the Employment Readiness Program. No, we're going to back up a little bit. I'm sorry, we're going to back up a little bit. I want you, first of all, to tell us what is the Lake County Center for Independent Living?
Sure. The Lake County Center for Independent Living is one of 22 consumer-controlled disability rights organizations in Illinois. Centers for Independent Living are all over the country. We serve Lake and McHenry counties, and we provide a variety of services as well as work on advocacy and community organizing throughout the county to ensure that the rights of people with disabilities are valued and that people can access their community.
I'd like to say this, though. Producer of the program is Heather Barcall. She's the program assistant at the Lake County Center for Independent Living. And I also like to mention Roger Braber. He's the board president, and I met him at the First Baptist Church of North Chicago, Illinois. This is March 17th, at the 108th anniversary of the First Baptist Church in North Chicago. And from there, we have done a television program where we came out on site to the program. And now we're reaching more people by radio. So the Lake County Center for Independent Living has many programs, right? You want to name a few of the programs that you have there? We
provide 4 core services that you can find at a Center for Independent Living throughout the country. They are information referral, meaning somebody can call up and ask about services in their area for people with disabilities or where is affordable and accessible housing. Advocacy, so that means that we help people advocate for their rights as well as communities in general advocate for themselves. Peer support, because the majority of our staff and board of directors are people with disabilities. So peer support's an important component of our services.
How do people find out about you, though?
Through a number of ways. We get referrals from other organizations in the area. Through outreach efforts that we do. Through word of mouth. We work a lot with the local school districts, so they will send referrals our way. Okay,
we talked about the topics that you get, but what is the most questions that you get about the program? Maybe I could go ahead with Amanda. Maybe you can address that.
Well, it all depends. Usually we get a lot of questions about affordable housing.
Okay.
There is a big need for it in Lake County.
Okay. You might go ahead and tell us about you're head of the Community Reintegration Program. I know you're excited about it and you want to share some of the things that you do there.
The program that I work with, we help people that are in nursing homes that are 59 and younger move back in the community. The program is funded through the state of Illinois, which helps provide them with upfront costs such as first month rent, security deposit, other household items as well. In the process too, we help them find the supports they need, as well as help them search for housing as well, and to try to make sure that they ultimately become successful living in the community.
I know that you like to talk about the successes stories from people that have benefited from your services.
Yeah, it is really interesting. Everybody benefits from our programs differently, so it's great to hear and witness the successes.
Allison, you have a staff associate program. What is a staff associate program?
We have a number of employment-related programs, and staff associates unique in that it's a 6-month internship in our office.
Okay.
And it's a paid internship through the State Division of Rehabilitation Services. And people who are interested in office work, reception work, come and work in our office. We try to give them a variety of different projects to work on. So they're building up their resume with not just familiarity with Microsoft Office or Excel, for example, but actually doing projects that demonstrate that. They also get guidance in job searching and resumes and cover letters while they're there during that program.
Fantastic. Well, what about the criteria for getting into the program?
You have to work with the Division of Rehabilitation Services and be referred by them. They're our state vocational rehabilitation agency for people with disabilities.
Okay, I'm fast forwarding this because we got so many programs that you have. But what about the Youth Leadership Advocate program?
Yeah, that's another one of our youth and employment programs. Our Youth Leadership Advocate goes out to 7 or 8 schools in a year.
Okay.
And she teaches a variety of topics that are important for young adults with disabilities to utilize as they transition to adulthood. So that includes self-advocacy skills, understanding your disability and being able to communicate that effectively, a lot of communication skills and strategies, leadership tools, awareness of your disability and others' disabilities, so that when you leave school, you have a lot of skills that are going to benefit you in adulthood.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, we're talking with 2 exemplary people from the Lake County Center for Independent Living, which is located in Mundelein, Illinois. Allison Lourish, she's the head of the Employment Readiness Programs. And we have Amanda Sweat. She's the Community Reintegration Program Specialist. And we've been talking about the Youth Advocate Program. What about the parent? You have a parent advocacy program too, right?
Yes. Within the same department, we have a parent advocate who works with parents who have children with disabilities who are working with the special education process. So understanding that process, what's involved, how to work effectively with the schools, and also to access any other additional services outside of the school.
Well, how do you talk with the clients about having a disability? That must be a tough one.
Well, part of what makes the Center for Independent Living unique is that we have this component of peer support. So the majority of our staff are people with disabilities, so they're talking to other people with disabilities and using that experience as an example of how to effectively communicate with your employers, for example, if you need a job accommodation, how to effectively work with a school to express what you need. A lot of that goes to the core of what we're about with peer support. So understanding, being able to explain what your background is and what strategies you've learned that have been effective in doing that.
in mention that you also have older blind services too, right?
Yes, that's correct. It's a program that serves people that whether they have low vision or complete loss of vision. It's a program that allows people that are 55 and older to obtain items to help with their needs.
Mm-hmm. You have in the information and referral program that you talked about, but how do you help people? Do you talk with them on the phone, or do you go out in the area?
We do. There's several ways that we help people with that. People can stop in directly in our office. We do a lot of presentations and a lot of community outreach to let them know what our programs are all about here, as well as, we definitely take phone calls as well.
Okay, you also have a bilingual program too, right?
Yes. We have somebody that works in our office that is both fluent in English and Spanish and helps those individuals that speak Spanish that can come in and if they're interested in our programs as well.
What about male, female? Do you have primarily females, or do you know what percentage of female to male?
We have a wide variety of people that seek out our services, whether they be adults, youth. I don't know our exact numbers in terms of gender, but it's as diverse as Lake County in terms of people who are seeking out help from us or who are wanting to be involved with us.
Okay, Amanda, tell us then, how did you get involved with the Lake County Center for Independent Living?
Well, pretty much I've been working with the disability community for quite some time, and I feel that working at Lake County Center for Independent Living, I think it's very effective that how you can help people because we're very centered around that and helping people with disabilities. Okay.
Allison, you have a board of directors, and the board of directors is very necessary. I guess if you're not for profit, you almost have to have a board of directors. But tell about the board of directors and how many you have and how they selected.
Our board of directors, like our staff, are expected to be, as a consumer-controlled agency, the majority of our board of directors are people with disabilities. We have a nice, diverse group of people who are interested in helping us. They also, provide leadership to our overall efforts. They also do a lot with our fundraising. We have a trivia night coming up on June 29th that they're planning and organizing in Lake Villa. So they certainly help with things like that, which is very essential and critical to a nonprofit like ours.
Yes, most board of directors, fundraising is a primary mission, of raising funds there. You have an executive director too, though. That person is one that oversees the whole operation.
Mm-hmm. Kelly Brooks, our executive director.
Kelly Brooks, no Ken, of course.
I'm sorry?
My name is Brooks too, but no Ken. No.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, Kelly was one that helped organize the program that the television and the radio program did an outstanding job with us. But tell us about your background. What enticed you to become a proactive member of a Lake County Center for Independent Living?
I came to Lake County Center for Independent Living a little over a year ago as the Director of Youth and Vocational Services. I've spent my whole career working on either youth programming or employment-related programs, specifically around youth transitioning out of schools. So this was a good fit for me, and also with my interests in the independent living philosophy and in the things that we do and the programming we provide. How
about the location? Are you centrally located for people can get to you, because really, if people don't have transportation, that may be a problem. You have transportation assistance?
And transit is something that we work hard on with our advocacy efforts. We're located at 377 North Seymour Avenue in Mundelein, which is near the 572 Pace bus route. And we also have a satellite office in the city of McHenry.
What about the youth? You have a high percentage of youth that participate in the programs?
We have a number of youth coming to our office, as well as the school-based programs that we provide. We have a summer internship for high school students where they come out to our office and work on advocacy skills, as well as project planning, office skills, things like that. We have youth that come as interns throughout the school year, learning job-related skills.
I mentioned about staff associates, but how do you qualify for staff associate? You just train your own people?
You go through the process through the Division of Rehabilitation Services,
okay.
And then we train you, for example, at our reception desk. Like many offices with satellite offices, we have a multi-line phone that takes a while to get used to. So learning all those skills, we provide one-on-one training to people on on our copy machine, on our different computer systems and things, with the idea that after that training, they're able to work on those machines and also use that to springboard into permanent employment.
On the visitation of the facility, do you encourage organizations and to representatives to come out and see your facility?
Absolutely. Everybody's welcome to come to our facility.
We give tours, but we also do a lot of our work in we meet people where they need to meet with us, so whether it be in their home or at a location that's convenient to them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, this is fantastic. I like to talk about the. You have your adult employment readiness, and you have employment programs. How do they differ?
So we might have young adults who are in school accessing our employment programs, and so that's geared a little differently than our classes that we have in our Mundelein office for adults who are, we try to be very individualized in terms of if somebody is looking, tailoring their resume to meet their needs, if they're looking in the middle of their career for something different, or looking for a job initially after some sort of life change, might be different than the students that we work with in our employment programs who are just coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm. Ms. Sweat, you mentioned about the community reintegration program. You want to emphasize what happens during that program, and along with that, I would like to ask: is there a typical day in the community reintegration program? Is there a typical day, and does you know what you're going to do during the day, and it works out that way, or does it depends?
I mean, most of the time, I do spend going out to the nursing homes and meeting with our with my consumers. A lot of them don't have the transportation to get to our office and stuff, so I have to come out there and usually visit at the nursing home. So a typical day is actually going to the nursing home. So I'm not really in the office that much.
Okay. Is it hard to find housing for the clients?
Everybody that we work with has unique circumstances. Everybody's on a fixed income with all the people that we work with. So, I mean, it depends on the person. Right now, currently, the waiting list for subsidized housing is very long, but we try to do what we can to help everyone that I work with. So,
and Allison, tell us about the support groups that you offer.
We have a couple different groups that meet on a monthly basis. One is Heads Up, which is a support group for people with traumatic brain injury and their caregivers, and that is...
It's on the last Tuesday of the month.
And then we also have WOW, which is a cross-disability support group. WOW is an acronym for Words of Wisdom. It's on the second Wednesday of every month at 1:30. So...
what is a disability awareness session?
Sure. We go out to schools, to scout groups, to churches, and have a group of people with disabilities share their experiences, because we strongly believe that that is the best way for people to learn about disabilities. Staff and individuals with disabilities go out and talk about their experiences. We try to get a group of people with a variety of disabilities, but also talk about things like not just an awareness, but an understanding and education of what terminology is appropriate. How should I, if I'm approaching a person with a disability, how should I approach them in certain situations? The importance of asking somebody if they need help rather than assuming they need help.
You have another service. You assist with needed services in the special education system.
So that's our parent advocate.
Okay.
So she will go out and work with schools and parents to understand the special education process and to make sure that students are getting the education that they need and it's appropriate. So educating parents, helping them through the process. It can be quite overwhelming for a parent to understand what an IEP, an individualized education plan is, and how that fits into school and how special education is designed and things like that. So she helps parents break down all of that information so they can effectively advocate for their child.
You have another service, site survey. What is a site survey?
What we do for site survey is whether it be a business or another organization or even an individual person that lives in a home, we come out and we what we do is we take measurements to see how accessible a building or a business or a home is, and we make recommendations to them on how to make it more accommodating. And we even do parking lots as well.
Also, you have legislative internship. That sounds challenging.
Legislative internship is a really interesting and exciting program we have. It runs every spring, and we select 12 to 15 interns who are interested in learning more about the legislative process and advocating for themselves and others. It culminates in a trip to Springfield to meet with legislators. We ask different public officials to come in and give presentations.
Okay.
So by the end of the internship, people have a good understanding of the differences between municipal, county, township governments, as well as the differences between the state house, for example, and Congress, and understanding how all those entities interact. We have also understanding their rights with the election process and going to vote and what's involved in that. And it really is helpful in building relationships with public officials to let them know of the issues that are important to people with disabilities.
Ms. Sweat, I know you've had some challenging experiences that you've had since you've been there. You want to tell us about a few of them? I know you had so many, probably you just have to pick out one or two.
Well, I mean, I don't really, I guess, consider them challenging. I guess it's just kind of more of a way to, I think in a way it's kind of just how our path, because every day we face challenges.
Okay,
so
right.
I guess I don't really,
No specific.
Yeah, I mean, it's so unique. Like, everybody we work with is so unique. So, I mean.
Right. Well, Loris, you want to tell us about, you're responsible for Amplified Phone Program. Why is the phone program Amplified program so important?
So we have, we are one of the testing centers for the Illinois ITAC program, which is a statewide program that if somebody is hard of hearing and they can't hear a conversation on a regular phone, they can come and test phones that have a much more significant amplification in our office. And these are specialized phones that are provided through this state program. So somebody picks one out that they hear best on, and the phone is mailed to them. So it's a really nice program if somebody's losing their hearing and is struggling with having a phone conversation. Some of the phones have large print as well on the buttons and have different features as well.
Now, are there income requirements?
For all of our programs, most of our programs are typically free. The Amplified Phone Program is just a program that we facilitate with the state. Different programs have different requirements, but the majority of our programs are free and are not based on income.
Tell us about we didn't talk about the number of staff that you have. Tell us about your staff.
Within our two offices, we have almost 20 staff members, give
wow.
or take, both full-time and part-time, as well as interns, volunteers, staff associates.
Okay, well, to sum it up, give us the overall mission of the Lake County Center for Independent Living.
Pretty much our mission is to empower anybody who has a disability to be independent and live the life that they want to live.
Okay, that's fantastic. And again, where are you located? And if I'm coming from the east, which I come from to get there, how what's the easiest way to get there?
We're in downtown Mundelein at 377 North Seymour Avenue. So we're near the intersection of Highway 176 and Highway 45. So we're easy to get to from 120 or 176.
And a phone number they can reach you by.
847-949-4440.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, we've been talking with two exemplary people from the Lake County Center for Independent Living, where Kelly Brooks is executive director. And we've been talking with Amanda Sweat and Allison Loris that been giving us information. And they mentioned that tours are available at any time if you want to come out there at 377
North Seymour Avenue.
North Seymour Avenue in Mundelein, Illinois. I want to thank you very much for sharing your time with the Lake County, and we hope that our listeners will take advantage in coming out to the Lake County Center for Independent Living to see all of the good work that you're doing. And I cannot thank enough the producer, Heather Barkalt, who's the program assistant, and also Roger Braber. He's the president of the board of directors for the Lake County Center for Independent Living. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Community Focus. My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks Sr., your host.